Well, it is definitely Sunday afternoon. I tell you one thing, I am finished. Yeah, I just had a great time. Of course, did some grocery shopping outside earlier this morning. Ended up coming back, getting the stuff back in that we needed. Made lunch for my mom and I. Had some leftover mix. I think it was leftover pancake mix. Made some pancakes. Had some leftover Johnsonville smoked sausage. So that was already pre-cooked and all that. Just had to warm that up at the end with the microwave. So added that into the jibber jabber for lunch. So it was great. Three pancakes for each of us. Of course, took a shower. Did the usual routine on Sunday, that we all do. Did the washing, took a shower. Did the washing upstairs. Did the vacuuming upstairs. I just cleaned out the filter and all that on my vacuum cleaner from Ryobi for my stick vac. So that's actually done. Thank God. Uh, I always do it. Don't ask me why. It's part and parcel of having a stick vac for them. And some people are always doubting, say, "Well, why do you do this?" Well, it's you want to keep the thing brand new, running well. You got to clean out. You got to do certain things to get it clean and make sure that it's running properly. Um, you'd be surprised at how much cat hair you can find. We have about 4 or 5 cats at our place, so with the stick vac itself, especially when it accumulates up into the little container that it has, you'd be surprised how much cat hair there is. And I'm thankful that I have that, so I can do downstairs, upstairs and downstairs. And luckily, I do have a small little 3 gallon shop vac, which I can actually use on the stairs because with my stick vac, not to say that it's not good, it is great. It's just great for larger areas. The steps, on the other hand, are smaller because you're only meant to go up or down the stairs. So I have to use actually my little 3 gallon shop vac to clean the individual stairs going up. And there's a lot of dirt and grime on there, like from from the shoes from the dirt. So I'm gonna clean that next, just after I'm done here. As for the new smartwatch that I have on my wrist, which is great, took me a little while once I got it charged up and all that to get the nuances through and understand how they actually, where the information is actually laid and how to get after it. Because I was looking at it, it's like I'm missing something. I'm missing something. Not only that, I had obviously had previous smartwatches other than this one here that I got from early, what was it, early resources or something like that, early exercises. And yeah, it was on Amazon.com or Amazon.ca. And one got me confused as for the distance, whether it's under a mile in the imperial format. Most of the other watches that I've had, whether it was a Pebble watch, which was one that I had actually bought most reasonable, uh, everything was done in imperial, but it was done in miles. In the imperial system, so the amount of footsteps reflected in the mileage in miles. Um, and with this one here, with the way they had actually posted it on the in your, I would say, in the application that you would have on your tablet, whether it's an Android tablet or on a iPad, or if you're running iPad or iPhone as an example, or an Android phone or Android tablet, when they convert the steps into, uh, usually they, usually the way I see it on the other apps that I had used, they would put it in already in the mile format. So let's say you did a half a mile, so that would be 500. Let's say, as an argument's sake, I'm just using this as an argument's sake. Let's say 1,000 steps. So let's say that's a half a mile, argument's sake. Here it doesn't show in in miles. It shows in yards. So here I am. I'm going, oh my, how am I going to convert this to that? Luckily on my phone, I do have a conversion rate going from yards to miles. Um, I have to plug that into my spreadsheet. If it's anything under a mile on the imperial format, it gets converted into miles. So as I go day by day, I have to enter that in manually as in miles. If it's already over a mile, as an example, then it's not too bad. So I can put it in 1.2, 1.4, 3, 4, 5. So long as I know it's in miles, so as long as it shows 1.2 miles, put that in. So that's not so bad. It's just when it's under a mile, I have to convert it from yards to miles, because I have everything automated in the background on this spreadsheet where it adds up the columns for the months, because I have the sections or the cells that run across as I enter the data. They get added into another sheet within the spreadsheet that I'm using. So not only does it do it in that, it also adds it up in the totals for that month, and then it checks the other columns where it's what's the minimum amount of distance you walk, what's the maximum, what's the total that you walked in miles, what's the minimum that you had walked in miles, what's the maximum that you walked in miles, and what was the average. Four formulas, but I have to make sure that it's in the file format of miles for those 4 cells. But luckily I do have in the spreadsheet itself, I do have another page open where I can actually use that as a scratch pad. So I can say, okay, for whatever cell I'm working on, this is what I have in yards, put it in yards, it quickly calculates, it quickly converts it for me, and then I just plug in what I have from there, put it into the other cell, back into the other cell, which makes it easy. So that's not so bad. It was just finding ways around, like the workarounds, so it can be automatically done for me, so it's not so bad. But that's what you do is when you're building up your spreadsheet to take a look. Again, I just want to say this. I'm doing this on my own fruition. I'm doing this for myself. What they have here that works on the tablet or on your cell phone is great too for the year. But what I find is after every year, let's say like the year 225, finishes that over, the data is kind of lost after that. The reason why I have a spreadsheet open is that I put the data in, and then as the data is put in for each of the years, I have certain sections of the other pages where it calculates for January, February, March, April, the ones that I have the numbers for. So that gets automatically adjusted for that. And then also for not only for the months, but also for the year. So I have everything drilled down into different pages. So I have the general data entry. I have the one for the months of the year. So I have one for the year 2021, another one for 2022, another 2023, 24, 25, so on and so forth. And then I do that. I think I have about 10 or 15 years space on that on that spreadsheet there. I'm working it in LibreOffice, but you can do this in Microsoft Excel and other spreadsheet programs. So if you're using Microsoft Excel, Microsoft Office, which includes Excel, or you have LibreOffice, or you have OpenOffice, so long as you have a spreadsheet in there, you can easily do this across. The formulas are available within the spreadsheet application itself. It's just a matter of looking for it and then finding the ones that you need. Like for me, I'm using totals or sums, minimum, maximum. So if I'm looking for a range, like what's the minimum I have walked, it will actually go through a list. Let's say for that 1 month of January as an example, or March right now as an example, and it will actually take a look whether it's for steps, miles, kilometers, whatever it is. It will actually take a look in that cell for that particular month, and it'll let me know, okay, this was the minimum or that was the maximum. Here's the average. The average will actually calculate, add, and then divide. So that's what I like about that, and I'm doing that just on my own, just as a numbers, because I like seeing numbers of what I've done with my walks. And you'd be surprised how much data you can accumulate with that. And you can also bring that over to, like, how can I say this, to people who deal with exercising and all that. And you can tell them, look, I've started to do this, I've done this, I have this here, I've gone as far as doing this. And I've spoken with actually at the local, not at the hospital itself, but it's called the CLSC in Canada, or the Quebec version. It's in the healthcare system. And I actually spoken with not a nutritionist, but somebody that deals with exercising, or to help, to see what you can do and all that. So I told her, I said, this is what I'm doing. Just to show you, this is what I have here. Um, Take a look at it. And she saw it and she said, what? You've done this on your own? He says, I like what you've done. He says, nobody else has done this, something like this. I said, well, why not? And I said, this is something I've just taken with what I had available from the smartwatch, and it's just put it in another format. So that's something I've done myself. It was very easy to make. It's not too complicated. I will show at a later date how I did this, so in case somebody else wants to do something similar, I can be able to show you guys on. I'll do a little web thing there on YouTube of how I did it, and that way you guys can actually mimic what I've done with mine. So whether you're using Android, or you're using like an Android phone, Android tablet, or a iPhone, or an iPad, I'll show you where to look for. The data within the app might be slightly different from what I have on mine, so be leery when you're looking for it. Look for under your particular app that you're using for your walking on your smartwatch. So that there is something that is responsible in such a way. It's just for informational purposes. And like I said, like I've read in the little manual that they have here, the one that came with mine, which is it's in Japanese on one side. What they mention in the book, in the manual itself, that these are not medical devices from the gut, like to be used as medical devices in the medical field. They are there to help you, or to guide you, more likely, of doing things healthy. So this has helped me because it lets me take a look of how much I'm walking, how much I should be doing, what I've done as a minimum, what I've done as a maximum. So that's one thing I've learned from this. It's been very helpful and therapeutic for me because I'm in IT. I love information, so stats is my way of getting things done. Anyhow, that's besides the point. I've rambled on about this, but anyhow, I'll show you an image that I've actually pulled from my tablet just to show you what I'm looking at on mine. It's called DasFit. DaFit. Why they chose that name for this app, I don't know. But anyhow, you'll see what I'm talking about. I think it was done yesterday, my walk. So this is actually an image of that, or image of today at least. Just so you'll see what I'm working on. So anyhow, it's Saturday. It's Sunday afternoon. It's almost 5 o'clock. I wanted to wish everybody out there in YouTube land, have yourself a great day. If it's your weekend, have the Saturday and Sunday off nicely. If you're working the weekend, I know how you guys feel. I've done it myself. I've worked the weekends myself and got somewhere during the week off as my Saturday and Sunday. So I know how it feels for those who have to work over the weekend. You guys have a great time, great day, and I'll catch you later.